Hey, everybody, and welcome to Talking with Coach Troy, my new podcast. And with me today, somebody you probably will recognize if you ever watch Netflix and if you're a triathlete, um, James Lawrence. James, it's great to have you here today.
Thanks, Troy. We are living in interesting times right now. I don't know when people are going to watch this, but right now we're in the middle of the COVID shutdown. So really cool times and interesting times.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. The whole world of endurance sports is kind of put on hold right now. But let's talk about your story is fascinating, I think, to everybody. People can learn a lot about you by watching the Netflix special, going to ironcowboy.com, find out about you. But tell us a little bit about the 50 Ironman distance triathlons you did in 50 states. I mean, what brought that up, and like, how does that come together for you? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's the headline, the story of the 50, and it's kind of shaped and changed our lives and the direction that we were on and who we are. And really cool experience that I got to have with my family. I've got 5 kids. We live in Utah. And over a decade, our family was just really into triathlon and coaching and participating and racing and being involved in the community. And we also did a lot of work for a charity that we had that did work for building dams in Africa. And so I started on this journey, and in 2010, broke the world record for the most half Ironmans done in a year to raise money for the charity. And then that led to a world record attempt of doing 30 official Ironmans around the world through 11 countries, which was our second Guinness World Record, then which led to something that we felt was possible at the time, and it was attempting to do 50 consecutive full distance triathlons in all 50 states, so 50 consecutive days, so 50, 50, 50.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. In my Ironman career, I can't imagine doing, well, even 2 Ironmans in a month would have been a stretch for me. I can't imagine doing them day after day. That's just an amazing feat. The other thing that impresses me about you, not only your endurance aptitude and your ability to do that, but also your business savvy. And on this show, I like to interview people that are really interesting, cool people that are also really smart at business. And you absolutely are. I mean, you've built basically an empire around your endurance experience. You go out and you speak and all these different things. Tell us about that.
Yeah, like I said, after the 50, I didn't know what door. I knew doors would open, but I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and I knew I had to see that journey through, and then we would be able to impact people's lives. Whether that's through our speaking platform, where in the past 5 years I've had the opportunity to speak in 48 countries, through our coaching platform, where we coach athletes around the world, to our brand and our apparel, to our nutrition line, to our mental coaching, to our race series, to our book, to the documentary. I've just really had a lot of fun being creative and finding unique ways to impact people's lives and give them value.
Yeah. And one of your really unique value propositions is your focus on grit and how you train people to be more focused on their mindset. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, my wife is obviously a huge part of this journey, Sunny, and I always say from stage that nothing great is ever accomplished on our own. And so together, Sunny and I have created, it's an 8-week course, and we call it Iron Grit. And it's really sound core principles that we've applied to accomplish really hard things in our lives and get us to the point where we have some freedoms and be able to do business and live lives and relationships and all that stuff. And so it's just been a lot of fun being able to do that. And the biggest thing that I've realized from traveling around the world and speaking to every type of person, from the newest graduate in college to NFL players at the top of their game, is that the mindset plays such a pivotal and important role in everything that we do. And the thing that I've learned the most is it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you've achieved, we still have those conversations in our head. And as humans, for some reason, we're getting in our own way, and we are our toughest critics. And so it's just been really interesting to unpack that and see CEO all the way down to the newest member of the team, how we struggle. And we're just, as humans, we're just trying to progress, and we're trying to do the best we can.
Right. So in your own endurance experience, when you're going through these ultra events that you do a lot of, when your body's starting to fail, things start to hurt a lot, life sucks basically. How do you bring yourself back and stay focused on getting to that finish line?
Yeah, it's an ability to focus just on the next step or the next second or the next pedal stroke, and hyper focus on just what's happening right in front of you and what you can control. And it's so relevant right now with the world shut down. Everybody is so focused and trying to solve the problems that things you can't control. And if everyone was just like take a step back and say, how do I solve this immediate problem right here in front of me? How do I control my attitude with being present right now, right here? That applies to everything in life, and it applies to my racing. When I'm in those dark moments, you can't think about 10 miles from now. You have to physically think of the next step, the next tree, the next whatever it is, right? And so
Right.
our ability to control our mind and hyper focus will allow people to be ultimately successful in whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah. So in your own experience, have you always had that mental toughness, or is it something that you developed within yourself?
Yeah, I think it's something that totally developed, and something that everybody can develop. Everybody has a different start point for where they are, and based on experiences that they've had and their ability to apply them to their lives. But it's just like our cardiovascular system, just like our muscular endurance system. Our mind is a muscle and a system that we have to train. And one of my huge platforms is becoming uncomfortable intentionally. We live in an unbelievable country. Like I said, I've traveled and I've seen over 50 countries, but to see the opportunity that we have here in the United States and the luxuries and the comfort, we've become soft and complacent as a society. And it's hard to develop mental grit and toughness when things are so easy and available to us, and access to everything like this is given to us. And so the concept to intentionally put yourself in an uncomfortable situation is foreign to a lot of people. And if you do that over time, you mentally can become more gritty, more tough. And then when it's needed out of necessity, again, in the situation that we're in right now, you can look around and see who has not put themselves intentionally in difficult situations based on how they're handling the circumstances we find ourselves facing today.
Right. And isn't that the power of being an endurance athlete? You learn about how to be mentally tough and have grit, and that extends into your personal and professional life as well.
Yeah, it's amazing the parallels that you can draw from the lessons you learn in life when you're suffering alone, just with your thoughts in this endurance racing
Right.
space. And we're intentionally putting ourselves there because it is so applicable and parallels so beautifully to life.
Right. Have you ever heard of the Veluminati?
The Belluminati?
Yeah, the cycling rules. Have you ever heard of that before?
I haven't.
Okay, well look it
I'm
up.
intrigued now, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look it up. Look it up. Rule number 5. It's my favorite. Rule
Okay.
number
I'll
5.
write it down.
Yeah, check it out. Boy.
Illuminati.
Yep, the Illuminati. All right. So you also have, you live in Utah. You live in an incredibly beautiful area from my understanding at altitude. And you have some cool events that are coming up. Tell us a little bit about that. I think a couple might have been pushed off due to
Yeah.
COVID-19, but tell us about those.
Yeah, I think Utah is one of the best kept secrets in the world. Every time I fly home and back over these mountain ranges, I'm like, holy hell, we live in an unbelievable place. And anytime I post a picture of a ride or something I'm doing, people are like, oh man, where did you travel to? And I'm like, I left my house. It's my backyard. And so we're just totally spoiled here in Utah. I can ride my bike. I was just up at 10,000 feet. I can travel anywhere in the world and race. But I want people to experience the gift that we have here in Utah and come race a very challenging race called the Guardsman. It's on August 1st this year, 2020. We are hoping that things clear up. We're going to go through the heat of the summer and have high hopes that we're going to have the event. It's a half Ironman, or half distance and a full distance triathlon, a road ride, and then a very challenging trail run on the Brighton Ski Resort, all based around the Park City Mountains. Super beautiful, fun, challenging event. And at the end of August, in the same type of area, we're going to be holding a triathlon camp. Pretty exclusive, limited number of participants, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of instruction, and a lot of beauty and a lot of toughness. So really cool things coming up in Utah.
Yeah, it sounds like some great training and racing venues there. So the scope of your business, ironcowboy.com, that's how people can find you. You also offer coaching. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, we've been coaching for a decade. I've applied all my experiences into this, and funny enough, or oddly enough, I have taken the opportunity during this shutdown, and we've revamped all of our programming and made it better. And we have a membership area. We have one-on-one coaching. We have access for people of all abilities, from your first Ironman or trying to get to the pinnacle of our sport, which would be a challenge Roth or a Kona spot. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to coach people. I've been, all my time has been dedicated to speaking, and I've really missed the coaching. And so the shutdown has been a total great thing for me. Just a lot of realization and realizing what I enjoy and what I don't. And I've really missed coaching.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
we're building that and getting back to what my roots are.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then in terms of your own personal race ambitions, what do you have coming up? Anything special?
Yeah, I'm actually going to race my race. So if you want to come race me, I'm going to do the half distance up in the mountains here in August. And then tackling something that scares the crap out of me. I talk about facing your fears. And I'm going to take on the Tahoe 200, which is a 200-mile trail run in the Lake Tahoe area. And just to make it a little bit spicy, I decided to raise money for charity, and I was going to jump on my bike here in Utah and bike to the start line. So we'll do a 600-mile bike ride to get to the run. And then in September, we're going to try to break a relay course record for a race that's called the Uberman, and I'm going to do the 400-mile bike leg. So I've got a really long run coming up, really long bike ride. Ironman St. George got canceled. I got switched to do Ironman Florida at the end of the year. And then I'll finish my year off with a fast half Ironman because Oceanside got canceled, and I'm going to do Indian Wells in Palm Springs, California. So a couple really different events. I'm really trying to figure out how to train for this. I got a gnarly trail run, a endurance bike ride, an Ironman, and then a balls out half Ironman. So plate is full this year. I got to try to figure out how to do all this, stay healthy, and then keep family and business balance, and 5 kids and everything in the marketing. I mean, it's just crazy. It's a lot of fun though.
Yeah, you have a lot going on, man. Are you sure you don't have 25 hours in your day, whereas everyone else has only 24?
I have figured out how to have 30 hours a day. So
Yeah, that's good. Well, James, it's a pleasure having you on my show, and people can reach out to you and find out everything that you're doing at ironcowboy.com, and I really recommend everybody do that. You have something else? You have anything else you'd like to share with us?
I was just going to say, if anybody wants to follow us on social, on Instagram, it's Iron Cowboy James. That's where we post all of our stuff. And we have a really cool sweepstakes going on right now. For anything you buy on our site, every $5 you spend, you get an entry into the sweepstakes. We're giving away Fazari bikes. We're giving away Normatec boots. We're giving away Blue 70 wetsuits, over $10,000 worth of stuff. So check it out, ironcowboy.com. You can kind of dissect it and get anywhere you want to. But really appreciate you having me on, Troy. You've been a stud. I've looked up to you my entire career, and so it's an honor to be on your podcast.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. It's great to have you here. All right, everybody, make sure you check out James' website, ironcowboy.com. And thank you for checking in here. And be well, train safe, and train smart.